welcome to Hullfire Radio. This is Christian on 2 Up Radio, and I'm here with Jack, the station manager here at Hullfire Radio.
Hello.
How's it going, Jack?
It's going pretty good, you know. Started off very nice and acoustically.
Yeah, very quiet. We started off with a little Vance Joy, little Van Morrison, and coming up in the show, I'll be throwing it a little drum and bass, throwing it back with some oldies, and looks like we'll get a little R&B and some pop. So looking forward to it. I'll be talking to Jack at noon again. Here is Ed Sheeran, Touch and Go. In the news today, last night on live TV, you could have seen Vicky Pattison win the 2015 I'm a Celebrity. Also last night, on live television, President Obama says of the terror threat, "We will overcome it." The last song was Ratatat. This song is by Coleman. It's called Two Heads.
There must be something in the water.
Some funky electro there from Coleman. And that last song was DJ Snake featuring Bipolar Sunshine. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to play 2 songs by boy bands crossing generations. This is the Beach Boys first. God Only Knows. That was One Direction with Wolves off of their new album, Made in the AM. Let's get some of that morning angst out with songs by Cold War Kids and Nirvana. This is In Bloom. That was Hot Coals by Cold War Kids. Yesterday in London, peaceful activists walked and held signs which read, "British Muslims don't support ISIS," and other quotes from the Quran, which highlighted the global denouncement of the Islamic State by other Muslims. Last night in President Obama's speech, he also made sure to rule out a ground war, saying, quote, "We should not be drawn once more into a long and costly ground war in Iraq and Syria. That's what groups like ISIL want." On a brighter note, let's hear some bright pop tunes by Hudson, Thames, and Chet Faker. This is How I Want You.
All you want, all you need.
That was some sweet, sweet electro from Marr and Chet Faker. Let's move on to 2 very powerful female singer-songwriters. First, Fast Car by Tracy Chapman.
You get a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Did I build this ship to wreck?
We're back. It's 16 after noon on 2 Up on Hullfire Radio. I'm Christian, and I'm here with Jack.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Jack.
Hello. It's going good so far.
Thank you. You're talking about the show.
Absolutely. And on the show, what does 2 Up mean? That's the question.
Right. So the title of the show is 2 Up, spelled out, and the real pattern is two news titles, two stories, or two related songs to kind of keep the variety going.
Mix it up.
Because when you asked me to do a show, I had a ton of music that I wanted to put on, so I'm trying to get through most of it.
It is a lot of music.
So you were telling me earlier this morning that your family is from Carlisle, and we're seeing in the news all the flooding, obviously
Absolutely.
the news has kind of picked the most terrible, exciting video footage of it. But
Yep.
you tell me that your hometown and your parents live in Carlisle. So tell me a little bit about that.
Okay. My parents from Carlisle. Luckily, we are on high ground, so
It's good.
the flood hasn't hit us, but a lot of my friends have been hit.
So
and
did they say no damage to your house or anything?
no damage.
That's
no,
good.
they didn't even realise a flood had gone on.
Really?
So, yeah.
Until they turned on the news?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, God. So,
That's funny.
but there's a reason why the flood may have happened. There's believed. We have a museum called Tully House, which I think is now underwater.
A Tully House Museum.
Yeah, it's called Tully House, but it's like got Roman stuff in.
Okay.
But they have this giant rock, and
In the museum.
in the museum, yeah. And everyone in Carlisle, well, not everyone, just the people who believe in curses, think this stone is cursed.
Do you,
so, like,
do you believe in curses?
No,
You don't?
No.
What about your parents?
no.
Okay, that's good.
And there's this stone, and it's got tons of weird writing all over it. But last time the floods happened 10 years ago, as soon as all the water cleared, like literally, I don't know, most of the population of Carlisle just started coming and railing on this stone, just like shouting abuse at a piece of like some rocks. And
Like
you
a
could-
whole group, like a protesting group.
Yeah, it was like a whole cult of people.
Like what were the types of people in the group?
I don't want to say that just in case to offend anyone.
Oh, sure, of course, right.
But
regardless, they were people who believed in the curse of the Carlisle Rock. What would
yeah,
you call it?
I'm not sure what it's called actually.
Really?
It's
Okay.
just this big black stone with tons of writing over it.
What language is it in? The writing.
I have absolutely no idea.
That'd be good to find out.
Yeah, maybe some olden time English.
We'll have to do a little bit of research on that.
Yeah, but so I expect as soon as the water's drained out, the cult will be back.
Okay. But the
And-
moral of the story is, do you pray to the rock to prevent another flooding in 10 years?
That's the question.
Okay.
Maybe it wants a sacrifice. Who knows?
That should be brought up at a town hall or something similar.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to some new music. This is Jamie XX, and we're going to get on to some kind of soft electro, and we'll move on for the second song of this section to a song by a group called The Internet, which is an LA-based, I think R&B
Yeah.
soul kind of rap group. And so this first song is Loud Places, featuring Romy by Jamie XX.
I go to loud places to search for someone.
That was Under Control by The Internet. Nice little chilled out song. One of my favorite movements in music right now is seeing hip hop artists get together with the cream of the crop electro artists. And one of my favorites right now is Runnin by Naughty Boy, and it has Beyonce. So we're going to play that right now.
These four lonely walls have changed the way I feel. The way I feel. I'm standing still.
It wanna have one hell of a
back on Two Up. Today in the news, a man was charged after sending malicious Facebook messages to members of Parliament. Scotland Yard says he sent death threats to a MP, and he's from North London, and he's in custody now. Good news there. In U.S. news, a plane carrying Morgan Freeman made a safe crash landing at a Mississippi airport yesterday. There are no injuries, and Mr. Freeman is okay. We're going to move forward with some cooled-off pop anthems that really go. This is M.I.A.
If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name.
Back on Two Up. I've just read through an article of the Hullfire, the official newspaper of the Hull University Union. My favorite article in this edition is a review of the movie The Martian, directed by Ridley Scott. The review gives it a 7.5 out of 10, and likes the 70s soundtrack that flows throughout the whole movie, but was upset that the director didn't manage time well. In the movie, an astronaut gets lost in space at point A and needs to get to point B to get rescued. And he felt that the way that the director cuts too quickly, it doesn't show that the astronaut, played by Matt Damon, actually has to go thousands and thousands of miles and takes, obviously, months and years to do. The actual crew working on the movie, The Martian, worked closely with NASA, and so if you see the movie, you can really see that they bring like the futuristic hardware that real life NASA astronauts might be using when we go to Mars, when we go into space in the coming years. So it's a really interesting movie, and the article is written by Henry Smith. Thanks, Henry, for that great article. My other most interested article that I read was about the opening of the Astrophysics Center, launched here. The E.A. Milne Center for Astrophysics, named after Edward Arthur Milne, who was born in Hull. And the center plans to be at the forefront of current astrophysics research. So good on the university for opening that, and thank you for the article, Nicholas Lowthorpe. So I'm going to move on to a song that is not totally recognizable, but obviously you will recognize these names. It's Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney, and they did a song together called Say, Say, Say. Here it is. Back on Two Up. That was a segment I like to call Songs Your Parents Probably Played in the Car When You Were Younger. That was Oye Como Va by Santana. And the first song was Say, Say, Say by Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. This is Cut Me Loose by Kiesza. That's Kiesza. She's got a modern, haunting, but gorgeous voice. This is Cut Me Loose.
So this is what it is. Or be better on my own, on my own.
That was Kiesza with Cut Me Loose. Great song. This is the end of Two Up. My name is Christian, And to lead you out, this is a song called Shine by Leon Bridges. Interesting fact about Leon Bridges, it might sound like 60s blues, but this guy is 26 years old, and this song came out this year on his album, Coming Home. Leon Bridges actually even goes as far as performing in vintage clothes because his sound is old school and great. This is Shine.